love it. I love the fact that a week before Christmas, I get to talk to you. I get to talk to, as I said before you came on, to the goat who gets to drink with another goat. Right, right, right. Little
Yeah,
Bumbu.
toast. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh,
Oh, oh,
oh, oh.
nuts. Where'd you get
Yeah.
that?
I keep my personal. I don't really, so you got to keep it personal about it on you. So you just right. Hold on, Brett. Hold on, Brett. Hold on, Brett. Hold
Oh,
on,
I
Brett.
love this.
Hold on, Brett. Oh, oh, oh. Hold on, hold on. Hold on, Brett. Hold on, Brett.
Oh, that's what I'm
Oh,
talking about. Ah!
toast, Brett. Toast, Mike. That's how you do
You
it,
won
Mike.
up. Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Cheers, man. Now, what you was saying?
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So, Wayne, I do this series called Self Made. I started it a few years ago.
Yeah.
I get to talk to amazing people in music, in sports, in business, in entertainment.
No,
Um,
the people get to talk to amazing you.
oh no, no. I'm all about. I need inspiration. I'm
Okay.
always looking for inspiration. And
Okay.
growing up, everything looked easy because everybody who was successful looked like they got it easy. But it's not easy. It's not.
At all. Looks are
And
deceiving.
I like to hear correct. And I love to hear the hard part because you are everybody's favorite rapper.
Thank you.
What I ask everybody the same thing in the beginning. What does self-made mean to you?
Self-made to me. Excuse me, I can hear y'all. Ladies, I can hear y'all.
Yeah, shut them up.
Ladies. Um, self-made to me, it means everything, truthfully, Brett. It means, it means you put it, it's not that you didn't need help, because don't listen to anybody that say they got to where they got anywhere successfully without any help. It's impossible. So, self-made, I believe, to me, self-made, it's a belief. It's an internal thing. It's a mentality, a mind frame. You feel what I'm saying? Because
Yep.
again, no one got to where they got without any help. So self-made to me it's a mentality, a mind frame. And so when you get to wherever you're trying to get to, you get there and you believe, you know what I mean? You get there with that mind frame that I did this. I did this with help, but I also did this by myself. You know what I mean? And
So, so,
because of
so,
course there's some things that we can there's some things that we can do that we actually need help through the whole way. What I mean by that is we need help to someone need to tell us how to think. Someone need to tell us that you need to go left when it's time to go left. So you know what I mean? To me, okay, well that's not self-made. But if you are the person that's telling someone to go left when it's time to go left, if you are the person that's saying we should do this when it's time to do this, I believe that's self-made. I become
so,
yeah.
if I think about it from my perspective, and to me, I love reflecting because I'm trying to figure out who the fuck I am. But I think of it as my father taught me hard work, and my mother taught me never to give up.
Okay.
And that's where I get my inspiration. That's where I get my identity. Where do you think you get that self-made drive? If you know what I mean? Like, where does it
Mm-hmm.
come from?
Mine comes strictly from my mother, Jacita Dewan Carter. Um, she raised me. My grandmother raised me from 1 to 11. That's Mercedes Carter. See her name right there, Mercy. I got Mercy. Uh, and my mom picked me up around 11. My mom took, you know what I mean? So I was raised by two strong women, you know what I mean? And my mom always wore the pants in the house, meaning, my stepfather, Reginald, he passed when I was 14. You know what I mean? She still was, so meaning at 14, she still had to become dad again. You know what I mean? So with that said, my mom was the driving force to me just sitting back looking like, okay, you don't just sit on your ass. You got to go do it. And she then also always knowing her reason for it. Her reason was always specifically for me, and just hearing she would gloat off of that. That was her, whatever, you know, us as rappers, we make whatever, we get on these songs and we say we got this, we got that. That was her. I got this, I got that. Look at my son. Look at how hard I work and look at what I've got for my son. My son don't want a damn thing. Christmas is every day for this guy. Birthday is every day for this kid because of how hard I work. She taught me that.
When do you, clearly you didn't think about that as your kid. Shit, I fucking hated my mother when I was little. Like when does that kick in where you realize these women have given everything for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, Brett, when you come from where I come from, you know, fortunately, unfortunately, poverty, it hits you at a young age. It hit me back then at 11, at 10 years old. It hit you at a young age that, okay, I'm raised by two unique women. Because what that said is you got your homies who they only got a dad. Some people, you know what I mean? So some they only got a father, some homies and you know, so you notice that, okay, I don't have none of that. I have my mom, I have my grandmother. And you notice at a young age that I have.
Do you think this is a strange thing to ask? Do you think you were old young? Do you know what I mean? Like you thought more mature than you were. You wanted things ahead of everybody else around you. You saw things ahead of you.
Definitely, Brett. You know, I was one of those kids that, you know, I was told a million times a day, you've been here before. You know, like that was quote unquote. They told me that I was told that at least twice a day. You've been here before. You've been here before. And so, yeah, that means I was thinking ahead of, I guess, what everyone expected me to be thinking or whatever, whatever. But honestly, Brett, these days, that's every kid walking now, just
Yeah,
because of what they have, just because of the things they have at their right there at their fingertips. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So credit us from the credit the guys that was that way from our time. We didn't have none of those things at our fingertips. This where we got it from. We had to go and seek it and figure it out.
So who did you look up to as a little kid? Who were your inspirations? Who were people that you followed?
Uh, number one, no one in the world was better, bigger, stronger, tougher, smarter, none of that than my grandmother Mercy and my mom Sita. So I looked up to them first and foremost. Now, once I become, you know, got a little older and was able to go out and about and develop, you know, other things I was interested in and other people I was interested in for whatever reason that became people like people from off the block, big homies. I want to be like them. You know what I mean? No more, no less. I want to be just like Bubba, my big cousin. And my mama would know exactly who I'm trying to be like. So I got fussed at a lot about that. Like, you ain't no damn Bubba. You got to, so that's what I want to be. I want to be Bubba.
But I imagine I had this conversation. I had a self-made with Nipsey, and Nipsey would talk about same thing. And the idea of I'd see the guys around the block, and I wanted to be just like them. I
Hmm.
wanted to pop my trunk and do anything I could just to do better. Like,
Hmm.
do you imagine that idea of everything around you was your inspiration?
Um, I would say for me, Brett, I would actually say no because those people I want, you know, those things that I wanted, I noticed that I was able to do them in a heartbeat, and so yeah, so it became like I don't want this no more because everything around me was only it was not enough. I wanted more, so I would believe that I probably found inspiration within myself. Yeah, because everything around me is obviously is inspired. It's in my fabric. It's who I am, and it's a part of me. And I can't go no. You know what I mean? That's who I am. But I never looked around to it for inspiration. When I did look around to it, I noticed that it wasn't enough that I was looking around to. So I needed to move up and out.
What did you want to be when you were little?
Everything.
But nothing stood out.
No, that was nothing, nothing specific, nothing. I always wanted to be everything. When I was in class, I wanted to be the teacher that was teaching. When the teacher started teaching and teaching us about a person or something, I wanted to be the person they were teaching about. You know, when we got out of class, whoever was on the yard doing something better than that, I want to be that person. So therefore, I started being the one that raps. So y'all don't have to look at the guy that's so cold, that's so good and playing basketball every day. The girls don't have to go over there and jump rope. Everybody about to come by tune and form a circle around me and listen to me rap for lunchtime. I want to be that. I always want to be the I guess the attention grab. I want to be everything, like I told you, and I had to figure it out.
The teacher, the teacher.
Exactly.
So then, when did music kick in then? Like, when did that become your calling?
Music was always a part of, you know, music has to be a natural thing. It doesn't have to be. Music, you find music however, but music for me was a natural thing, meaning I was raised by my grandmother, you know, so with that said, the gap in music will be so different, you know, as far as a kid and these days it's totally different. You know, I mean, these days everybody listens to the same thing. Grandma about to post, you know, everything's different. Back then, it was, you know, don't cut that music up in my house. You know, don't cut that shit on in my house. That shit, call that cussing. That was different. So for me, music, I found music it was natural. And when I was about 5 years old, my grandmother was calling me into the living room to sing Michael Jackson for her friends and to dance and all that type of stuff. So it was without me even knowing why. You could have, after an hour and a half of performing for her people, you could have, for my grandmother's friends, you could have pulled me to the back room and asked me, why did you do that? I wouldn't have had no answer.
You like being the center of attention?
I love being the center of attention.
Back then, did you think you were good at it?
You know what? I don't think at that time that I was worried if I was good or bad. I think I was always, I was more worried about impressing, you know, so I was more worried about what did you think? How did you think I was at it? You know, do you think I was good at it? And if you thought I was good at it, then to me, I was great at it.
Has that changed?
No, has not changed. That's why I get on the stage every night and tell them those 3 important things. I ain't shit without you. I always tell them and let them know.
So I think that's so interesting. And what does that say about you in the sense of you're not looking for happiness yourself. It's other people telling you, you know what, you've made me happy. You know what I mean?
I guess I believe that, I guess I'm here for that reason or whatever. And I live that out. I've always with my music, I've always seeked approval. I've never put it in your face and said that's what it is and it's the best. You know, no, I've always seeked approval. I said I was the best rapper alive when someone else told me you the best rapper alive. You know what I mean? I didn't jump out there and say I'm the best.
So Wayne, take like, I was thinking about you tonight and the fact that everybody I know is saying, oh my God, I love him. He's my favorite. At this point in your career, does that mean anything?
I mean everything. That's why Brett, that's the reason. Other than that, it's naturally impossible for me to stop. But that is a huge part of the reason why I am still doing what I do like it is my first day of ever doing it. Because they tell me that they love me and they put me as the best and they say they need it. And I love everything about that. I live for that.
So do you read the negative? Do you read the comments? Do you read the negative?
I don't read any comments, truthfully, Brett. I don't read the good or the bad. I don't.
So how do you know?
Comments.
How do you know if they like it or not? You know what I mean?
I think that's, you know, thank God. It's obvious. That's how I know.
All right. So take me back. So I read this. I have no idea if it's fucking true. You wrote your first rap song at age of 8.
Brett, let me answer that question for you a little bit. That was a little vague. Let me answer that question. How do I know? I know they like it because Brett, look into music, and before I stepped into it, you know, they had music. Everyone looked a certain way. Everyone did a certain thing. Look at me, and now look at music. They all look like me.
You like that?
I love it.
Do you like?
If I didn't, I'd be the first. I'd be on every song and say, "You niggas look like me. Y'all trying to be like me. You taking my style." No, I love it. Let's get it. Yeah.
But I find it interesting because when I was on Young Money Radio on Apple, and I said, you asked me like something about being successful, and I said you got to find your own lane, and you
Mm-hmm.
said that's exactly right. Don't copy me, but you want to be copied because that is
Oh
saying,
no, I'm not being copied. I'm not being copied. Not at all. Copied is different now, bro. Copied is that we don't have a game for the Lil Waynes. We don't have that would be being copied. No one tries. That's what I always, and that'd be the first thing I always say when when I'm being interviewed and everybody. And the first question always be, "What do you think about these new artists trying to be like you and look like you?" And I would be like, none of them trying to be like me. Like maybe they go get some tattoos in their face or something like that, and the grill or something like that. But they ain't trying to be like me. I like they might put Lil on the front of their name or Baby after it, but they don't sound nothing like me. They don't you know what I mean, they never been through what I've been through. They not from where I'm from. So therefore, right there, everything is about to be different. And they're totally them. What's the reason they're even doing music? Sometimes 9 times out of 10, I hope that I'm the reason they're doing music. That alone, right there, makes that alone right there is a blessing, and that alone right there let you know that no, they're not trying to be like me. They're actually paying homage and saying you are the reason
yep.
I am someone. That's all that
So
is.
so okay. So who were those
You
people
gotta
in
be
your
me. You gotta
mind
be you.
that were
You gotta
for
be you.
you? So so who were those people in your mind for you? Who are the, when you think back when you're 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, who are
Yeah.
those people in your mind?
Who are those people in my mind? What?
Who are those people who that you looked up to in music, that you wanted
Okay,
to, that you got your inspiration?
I got you. The first person off top, when I even knew what, when I even knew what a melody or harmony was Michael Jackson. That was my first inspiration. Period. There was nobody else that even sang a song like that. That once I grew up and got a little older and it was Jay-Z, and it's been Jay-Z. And after that, it was
So
me.
those two, really.
Yeah. I am my biggest fan. I am my biggest critic. So that's after that, I've been focused on me and no more. And anybody around me, any artist, everyone to tell you that. Any artist in the game will tell you they already know. Oh, Tune, Lil Wayne, he don't listen to nobody else but himself. And they'll be like, nah, it's not. He not listening to his. I mean, and I'm not listening to my albums I put out. I'm listening to the song I just recorded last night, and that's why I don't listen to nothing but myself. And I have no time to actually listen to no one else because I'm still working on me. And so when I do hear something else and oh my God, if I like it or if I love it, to me I look at it as it was meant to be, or as it's something about you or it. You know what I mean?
So where does Lil Wayne get inspiration? Where do you learn? Where do you? I need to take walks. I need to get out. I need to experience things. I'll
Mm-hmm.
take input from
Mm-hmm.
everybody, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm formulating it. Where do you get that?
This crazy as world,
Do
plain
you
and simple.
read? Do you
Plain,
read? Do
you
you?
don't. I read. I watch a whole lot of television. And another thing, what I find unique about myself, and the people, the new average person today is, again, another thing about me that anyone to tell you, I don't know nothing about social media, bro. That's why when you ask me about comments and all that, I was like, I don't even know how to read them, bro. I don't know where they at. I don't know how to find a comment. So I don't know nothing about social media. So that right there makes me a alien to this world. So, and so that therefore the things that I start to notice that the things that I am learning every day, and we learn something new every day. I would notice that the things I am learning every day, I get to compare those things and I get to talk about those things with my girl. And of course, she knows about social. She knows everything that's going on. I get to talk to my kids, my sons. They know every damn thing about social media. But then I would notice that what I'm learning and what they learned today or yesterday is so minimal to what I've learned. You know, And that right
Yeah.
there, that right there, that's when my job comes in, to make sure that they as in my kids in my inner circle, learn the knowledge